we're all set.
Okay, thanks, Krista. Good afternoon, everybody. As you could probably tell, for those of you that have been on for a little bit, we are brand new to the meetings webinar option. It's a pretty nice option, but we had to figure out a few things. So Krista is let me introduce myself, and then that'll put everybody else in context. I'm Ruth Ann Hodges. I'm the manager of the Educational Experiences Unit here at the Michigan Department of Education. And this NAF grant sits with my team. My team consists of myself, Dylan Rosansky, who's our analyst, and he will also be, if you're considering applying for the grant, he'll be your go-to guy. And then Krista Worthington is our unit secretary, and she's helping us with all the meeting arrangements and the team's working out all the bugs with this team's piece. So we are going to we thought it was important that people had better understanding, first of all, of what the opportunity, this grant funding is going to be providing them. So we're going to have a presentation from the NAF folks exactly on what these academies are, and then we can talk a little bit more at the back end around the actual grant application process. I do want to mention that our CTE colleague from MDE, Selena Mills, was supposed to be on, but she had a last minute emergency and couldn't make it. So we'll just collect questions anybody might have around how this intersects with CTE and send them on to Selena and provide you with an answer after the fact. So without further ado, I'll start off with Marcy.
Well, hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Marcy Aycock, representing NAF, and NAF rhymes with staff or laugh, in case you wonder how we say it at NAF. National Academy Foundation is our formal name, but everyone knows us as NAF. I'm joined today by two of my colleagues, Jennifer Geisler and Dr. Arlene Williams. They'll both introduce themselves as they take over their parts of our agenda today. Today in our agenda, we are going to learn about what NAF is, NAF's impact, why NAF, the grant opportunity, the year of planning or fast track process, a timeline for the grant, and next steps and reflection. So we know it's a holiday week. We're going to be mindful of your time and try to stick to our schedule today. We're going to open with a very short video about NAF. Jen, take it away with the video. Thank you, Jen. By the way, all the documents and everything will be included afterwards in case everybody wants the deck. I want to first share NAF's impact. So you have a feeling for what NAF is nationally. NAF impacts over 120,000 students currently. We're in over 384 schools and have over 3,800 advisory board members. These numbers were as of the end of last school year, so all of them have went up since then. A few of the numbers that we're particularly proud of are across the bottom row. When you look at our seniors, our students who graduate, 99% of NAF students are reported to graduate, which is very high across the country and regular compared to regular high schools. If you look at the 87% of NAF students are college bound, and we're particularly proud to serve, as you look, 618 academies, and we'll zone in and you'll see that they're around 85, up a little bit already, health science academies. So our impact is national. You'll be joining in a network of academies across the country. So you'll hear us say often the power of the NAF network. And this slide demonstrates that. Jen? Next, we're going to dive into what's NAF's educational design. For over 40 years, our educational design has been built around these 4 pillars: academy development and structure, advisory board, curriculum and instruction, and work-based learning. We truly believe that all of these are important components of a successful program for your schools. We want to help you build a sustainable program that is going to have impact for students for many years to come and impact your local, district, national, state workforce. So all of those areas have to work together. Next slide. The basis is a strong structure, building a foundation for your program. So think a small focused learning community within your high school, although some of our schools are all in, so all of their students might be in one program. Just depends on the structure you put into place. We believe the academies should have an open enrollment program. So if they're in your school, they should qualify for participation in the academy. Ideally, we hope that the academy serves between 100 and 200 students. So at least 20 per grade level, if not more, as you build it out, knowing that your first class could have 20 freshmen, so you'd only have 20 to start your academy and then moving on up. But a flexible structure. In one school, a 2-year program might be what they need. In another school, they plan for a 4-year program. And so during the year of planning, which my colleague Jen will just describe in a little bit, we'll talk about the structure of your academy and how you decide that during year of planning. And then overall, it's a collaborative design that is really, part of your local community. What are the needs? Who are the partners? So as we go through that, you'll be building out a structure for a strong academy. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Arlene Williams, now to share around the rest of our design elements.
Okay.
Dr. Williams?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Arlene Williams, Director of Community Impact for NAF. The advisory board and their members provide an essential bridge between the classroom and the workplace. So how do they do this? They collaborate with the academy leaders to enhance the curriculum and to provide ongoing professional development. They can also help to participate in a variety of classroom activities, such as project-based learning activities. They leverage connections to help to create an awareness for the program, and they also provide community support. The advisory board should comprise of at least 10 to 20 members, 80% from the health sciences community, and the other 20% can comprise of school-based personnel such as students, parents, an administrator, and also teachers. Next slide. The curriculum is robust, infused with academic curricular pieces. The NAF program of study provides multiple career pathways and curricular options for students to achieve NAF track certification. And we also embrace NAF's or the U.S. Department of Education's 16 career pathways. And this permits NAF to apply for advanced placement, dual enrollment opportunities for students, early college. And we also have state-approved career pathway courses infused into the curriculum. With a strong focus on project-based learning, NAF is providing future-ready passport expeditions, which is a series of passport or authentic projects where students have an opportunity to solve real-world problems with career experts. Next slide. Work-based learning plan. So students that are enrolled in a NAF Academy complete a continuum of work-based learning activities that build in sophistication from awareness to preparation. In the awareness phase, activities at this level help students to acquire awareness of the concept of work, and it also helps them to identify types of workers. And usually in the 9th grade, students are exposed to guest speakers coming into the classroom, or they can participate in a activity whereby they attend a worksite tour. Then matriculating to exploration. This is when students begin to fully explore career possibilities and they choose tentative career goals through informational interviews, job shadowing experiences. These are some of the activities. And most often in grades 11 through 12 in the preparation phase, students have decided on a potential career pathway, and they are exposed to paid internships or a clinical experience, some of the activities. Excellent. Now, during your year of planning, there is a student recruitment and marketing piece where you begin to formulate strategies that will support student recruitment efforts. And our marketing and communication team has a plethora of resource materials to help to create visibility of the NAF brand awareness, be it if you want to create a website design or brochures or recruitment flyers, you would just go to communications@naf.org for the resource library, or purchase NAF swag through our NAF store. So with that, I'm going to yield to the Michigan Department of Education with more information on the application process. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have put together a checklist, and Dylan is going to put in the chat a link to our webpage where you can find more information on the application. But it's going to be a pretty simple application process. I think, as the NAF folks pointed out, the importance of your advisory council, your partners that you're going to bring in at the table, are going to be the a pivotal part of the application. And so you in the application process is going to essentially start with you emailing Dylan, and Dylan will we have his email in the PowerPoint, but he'll also put it in the chat. And then we have a plan to review, and you will then get, if you meet the criteria, then you will get a conditional grant offer saying, okay, reach out to NAF, begin the planning. And then once you've gone through that planning piece, NAF will send us an agreement. I think that's on the next slide, a snapshot of that, and evidence that you've reached out to them. I don't know, can I advance that slide? Yeah. And then once we have that evidence, then we'll release your funds. So it's going to be sort of a two-step application process. Yes, you've met the criteria, ready to go, and then you have the conversation with NAF, and we get confirmation from NAF.
Perfect. Thanks, Ruth Ann. And good afternoon, everyone. I am Jen Geisler, and I lead our Emerging Academy at NAF. All of our Emerging Academies come through 2 programs at NAF. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those 2 programs, the Year of Planning program and the Fast Track program. But I want you to know this step 2, we are here to support you through the process. The Partnership Interest Agreement is really to confirm your admissions program of interest after you go through the Michigan Department of Education's first step. Also to ensure capacity. We want to set you up for success. So we want you to learn a little bit more about NAF and what it takes to implement NAF's design. And then, of course, to confirm who the lead contact will be. And that is really just to have clean paperwork, and to ensure that we're contacting the right people within your school and district. So that's really what the Partnership Interest Agreement is all about. If you have any questions with that along the way, you can certainly contact me or contact anyone on the NAF team. So the 2 programs that are offered at NAF really start with getting your Academy design team together. These leaders that you will be recruiting for the Academy design team is the first step to ensure that you all are on board with the same mission and vision for your Academy program and what you want to offer your students. So some of those best practices are assigning those team roles and responsibilities at the beginning, convening regularly scheduled meetings, developing the mission and vision together, so that you can bring the whole community and school leadership on board. And then perhaps thinking about subcommittee meetings or subcommittees in general for your Academy design team. And we'll help you along the way with this first step, because it's really an important step. It's a framework and a foundational piece of who those core members that you want to get together to ensure you have the expertise to build this Academy program. So don't worry about that step. We will coach you along the way with a guide to help you out. So the first option to joining NAF is through the Year of Planning process. And during this process, it's a flexible, self-paced program. So just know wherever you are starting off your Academy development, we're with you every step of the way with a dedicated NAF portfolio manager to coach you and support you and ensure that you have the tools and the resources to implement NAF's design. So as I mentioned in the slide previously, team building and leadership is the first step. And then we move on to the Academy design plan. What does the program look like that you will offer your students? So that's really looking at the program of study, your work-based learning program. How will you look at partnership activation? Are you reviewing your data to ensure equity amongst all your students with that open choice-based enrollment process that Marcy mentioned earlier? And then once you have that structure, that Academy design plan in place, we look at your launch year, and that's really ensuring that you're ready to go. You have a plan to recruit the students, your counselors, your teachers are all ready to move forward with the Academy design plan that you've developed. The second option to join the NAF Academy network is to enroll in NAF's Fast Track program. And this program allows a functioning academy that implements most of NAF standards to join the NAF network. So to do that, it's simply an application. So it's you're really starting with the end of the year planning program. You're saying, we have most of NAF standards of practice in place, and we really just want to get started. We see the value of the NAF network. We have a full functioning academy in place. So we have you do a self-assessment. And that self-assessment includes evidence collection and a verification meeting. And during that verification meeting, we look at your strengths, we look at your challenges, we look at your evidence to ensure you have an academy design plan in place to ensure sustainability. And we then look at action planning. So you are out of the gate, ready to go. You launch the academy program, and we support all the resource and tools you need to move this existing academy program into a NAF academy program. And with that, we will talk about the grant timeline and next steps.
Thank you, Jen. For our part from NAF, we'll just wrap up and say that after you complete the MDE portion, there'll be the NAF partnership agreement where you can look through the parts of NAF and make that decision. Are we, do we need more assistance and want to go through the full year of planning? Or do we have an academy already in place and we want it to become part of the NAF network? We're always going to be available to answer questions. Maybe you want to think through that or go, which do we have? So any of us, Dr. Williams, Jen, and myself are glad to have that conversation and help you with definition around that part. Have an introductory meeting if you'd like, or a thought partner meeting as you prepare to apply. So our contact information is at the end of this slide deck as well. And I know that if there's questions, we'll have those put into the chat and we'll make sure to respond to those. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Ruth Ann for some final MDE reminders.
Yes, so this is basically a picture of the application. So you can see it. It's pretty simple. Again, we've got lots of information on our website, and we'll be adding some more pieces there too, more about the NAF. And if you have any questions, you can also come off. You should be able to unmute yourself and come off mic, or you can just put a question in the chat. And here's the contact list. We will have this PowerPoint posted on our website too, but NAF folks, you might want to just put your emails in the chat too, so people have them handy as well. And like I said at the beginning, Dylan's going to be, when you're ready to apply, Dylan's going to be your first person that you reach out to. So, are there any questions?
I have one.
Okay.
This is Heidi Kate. I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm curious about. I noticed on the slides there was a reference to CTE, and I wonder how this does or does not overlap with the maybe CTE application or an early middle college. Is there a relationship, do you think, or not with the NAF Academy?
I'll jump in. Hi, Heidi. Nice to hear your voice. Glad
Hello.
You're with us today. And absolutely, during the year of planning or the fast track, we help you align and make sure that everything is in place to get that to apply for that CTE certification. Wonderful. And our team is very mindful of that. And so we want to help you get meet those requirements for your application.
All right, thank you.
And I want to add that I put Selena's name in the chat, and Selena and the NAF folks have been talking all along, and so that we know that there's a strong connection there.
In fact, Heidi, I like to say as a former CTE director, who have gone through the application process, the NAF process closely aligns with
Yes.
what is needed for that application. And we have been very successful in getting Perkins funding for the NAF academies.
Awesome. Thank you. I saw that alignment as well, and I just wanted to make sure that's how I'm seeing this as well. Thank you.
Mhm.
Can I ask also when is the timing of the resource materials for this webinar? When would we expect that email? Do you know?
Well, I think our plan was just to post them on our website that we have, the link that we put in the
Okay.
chat. And the application is you can start the app. Let me put it this way: you can start the application process by emailing Dylan. At this point, we don't have a platform like GEMS open yet, but we have a workaround while we're waiting for that actual platform to open. And Dylan's the front line in that piece. So whenever you're ready, you just send Dylan an email.
This is Cindy Anderson from ATA. I may have missed it, but where is Dylan's information?
He'll put it in the chat again.
Thank you.
It's also on our website. And Dylan, we probably should put the website link back in so people can see that.
Yeah, I'm going to drop both in one more time.
Okay.
Ruth Ann, would it be possible to send this information to everyone who registered for the webinar today?
I think we can. I'm looking at Krista to see, do we get the email? Do we get the emails behind the scenes of the people that registered? I'm assuming.
Yeah, but we should be able to send that out once it's available.
Okay. Okay.
I just popped my email back in, so let us know how we and the NAF team can help. If there's questions, just reach out to us as well, and we'll be glad to guide you towards the application or anything else you need help with. Right. Ruth Ann, do you want to wrap us up?
I can. Thank you, everyone. Like we said, Dylan's going to be your front line as far as the actual application. Any questions around the actual program should be directed toward Marcy and her team. Any questions you might have around CTE should go to Selena. And so hopefully you will take advantage of this grant funding opportunity. And thank you for attending today.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.